Hey guys, it's been a while. This morning I did a little nature walk, and then I thought it would be fun to do a book video. Some books that I've read, some books that I would recommend. Now, the reason why book videos kind of fell off is mostly because there's so many different ideas about how this world works, and sometimes a lot of books like to depict that their way is the only way, and that just simply that, you know, that what their book carries is the ultimate truth and no other book is of that nature. And I feel like a lot of the times people, when they get a book and they start reading it, they expect to, I mean, when it comes down to it, there's a bunch of fake stories and things like that, but I mostly like to revolve around books that are more kind of scientific and information and religion, philosophy, all different things like that. I do have one book though that is a story that I wanted to recommend that was sent to me in my P.O. box. That is an amazing freaking book, and I low-key have a theory about it. But I like to read interesting books that do kind of fall into the category of realistic books, but a lot of the time the books that I read, they're not necessarily realistic, or I fall in love with the idea so much just because it either resonates with me, I can connect with it, that I think that's the truth and that's the way it is. And then I read a book the next month and I'm like, yo, everything I thought last month was a freaking lie. And what would happen would be I'd make these book videos and I'd be like, yo, you guys, go read this, go read this. This just helped me learn so much stuff. I'm seeing the light now. And then I read a book that's like, yo, everything you just read in that last book, it was a lie. And so just for me, it'd be hard. It's like, I get overwhelmed thinking of the fact that I would recommend a book, but then 2 weeks later turn around and be like, yo, you guys, remember that book I told you to go buy and spend your time reading? Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean that. So what I wanted to do was more so kind of make a video, and it's really hot, but there's so much noise outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but maybe I'll take my socks off. But anyway, I just thought, you know what? I have been reading so many books that are making me question everything about life. I know there's some people out there who also like to question life, so I wanted to make a book video. I'm sorry I'm ranting, but I have reasonings for things, okay? And another thing, I actually think I'm going to talk about a book that I wasn't planning on talking about. That book wasn't the book I was thinking. I think I already have it in my stack. But I'm just going to get into it. So again, little disclaimer, I read everything with an open mind. I take everything I research with a grain of salt, and I'm not very set on my beliefs. So I'm not religious. I don't even like using the word spiritual anymore because of how many weird connotations are with that word now. I'm just a being who likes to educate myself. I like to learn, and I just want to know the truth. While I see a lot of other people are distracted. So anyway, right into it. First I want to talk about the book that is just the story. I got it sent to me by my book friend, and I'm so freaking bad with names, but I remember who gave it to me. I remember the conversations we've had. We've emailed about the book. I've gotten multiple books from them. Just know that my soul knows who you are, my brain can't remember. But I was sent this book, and it's called Lullaby. It looks like this. Beautiful cover with an upside down songbird. Really cool. Okay. So I got this sent to me in my P.O. box, and at first, it's really interesting. I found reasons to write in it, which a lot of the times, sometimes when I'm reading more so just little fake stories, it's hard for me to find right things in it, you know what I mean? There's not a bunch of ideas or theories or things like that, but this book is amazing. I don't want to give it all away, but it has to do with the idea that this lullaby that is being mass produced is really a curse, and whoever says it, I don't want to give it away, but whoever says it has the ability to do something or think something and it happens. And all I can think to myself is that, but the other thing is, the people who created this, like, the saying, knows what it does, and it's like the police were in on it, people were in on it. It teaches you to open your mind about advertising companies that you see. I loved this book so much, and it left me thinking to myself, like, holy crap, these lullabies, even happy birthday, little songs we sing on Christmas, like, we really have no idea where they came from, the history behind them, who put the words together, what the words even mean. And this book just kind of opens your eyes to a scenario that you're like, oh my goodness. So again, it's Lullaby. It is so good, you guys. And I kept thinking to myself, like, holy crap, there's weird cases of deaths that happen, right? But then you think, well, damn, what if it just came down to their mother sang them a certain song before they fell asleep? And for those of you who don't know, words have some crazy things. Words can do crazy things. I recommend this. It is a little bit more for a mature reader. There are some, just some bits and pieces that I wouldn't necessarily, well, no, they're inappropriate. But it is. So I would, why am I having such a hard time talking? This is for, yes, somebody who's more mature. I don't know how to put that in a normal way. But yeah, I don't want to give away. I want to give away, but I don't want to give away all the information about what it's about. But seriously, you guys, please, normally I don't, like the House of Leaves, Counting by Sevens, like, of course, I'm really, I never read stories, but there's only a few stories that literally hit home. One Last Day, like, this is one of those books that I'm telling you, you need to read. I did not put it down. I read this to my dad. Yeah, I did. Because I started this January 27th of 2017, and he didn't pass away until a couple months. So I remember reading my dad this book. He really liked it. He thought it was amazing. So please check this out. It's I've never also had an author that writes the way he does, and so I want to say Book Buddy Tim. I call him my book buddy. Book Buddy Tim. I don't think it is, because I even wrote Tim with a question mark. Because it's like I just couldn't remember. Okay, I haven't finished it yet. I have thought about making videos single-handedly focused on this book. I found this book at a bookstore. It is so cool, you guys. It's so cool. Oh my gosh, yes. And I started it March 15th, and I'm still not done with it, but it's more so kind of a pick up and read when you want to. Great book to bring to like the beach or to the park, or if you were like hanging out with friends and you like to like share books with that, you know, that'd be pretty cool. This is called Succulent Wild Woman. And for one, I didn't even open it up. It was one of those times where I saw the cover, I knew whatever was inside of it I needed to have, so I just got it, right? So bless the woman on the back. Goodness, just she makes me smile. But this book is my glowing innovation to you. Live a rich, succulent life. I explore love, sexuality, romance, money, fat, fear, and creativity. It's a little bit like reading my diary with permission. It is amazing, and the inside of the book is so freaking fun. Like, I haven't highlighted it. That wasn't me. Yeah, no. That wasn't me. Like, this part up here, the little underlining, that part, that was me. Wait, let me give you a better idea. I wanted to show you guys. It looks like somebody just wrote this, like took some paper out of their classroom as a kid and just wrote it. But here, I'll read a little bit of it. Where does it say? It just makes your eyes, your soul light up when you read this. I don't know where, if they still sell it. If they don't, I will read this to you guys. Right here, look at healing places. We heal from the inside in certain outside locations, and here are some of my favorites. Ocean, woods, rocks, waterfalls, gardens, tops of hills. And she like draws a little bit of everything. It's It's a beautiful book. I really do recommend it. Whenever I've opened it, it's always given me just happiness. I do think that it is mostly kind of designed for women, but I want to say that even in the first sections it says that this isn't. I don't know, this might be for women. It says, this is a book about celebrating being a succulent wild woman. It means living fully, richly, rarely, and relieving, yeah? It gives you permission and calls you to play. I believe we must live untamed, juicy, and abundantly as women. So, this is a really good book that I found. I think it's a good one to have on your shelf. It's fun. It also is giving me inspiration because you know how I want to write books. I think it would be fun to have a book where I like hand wrote it, you know? Like she did. She like hand wrote it. Ha! That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, anyway, that was my one book. Okay, the next book, I've already talked to you guys about this. I made a video kind of based on it. But it's just such a simple, sweet, easy read book. Again, don't remember where I got this. I actually got this sent to me. Yeah! I got this sent to me. I'm sorry I can't remember who it was sent by, but I got it sent by you. You remember. But she is such a sweet woman. She talks about her personal life experiences. She talks about, yo, you want a cookie? Eat the freaking cookies. Remember that video I made where I said it's okay to celebrate? Where, you know, you go through life and you get your driver's license, you graduate, you do all this and nobody really celebrates with you, so then you're kind of just like, well shit, there's no point in celebrating anything, even a birthday. This book reminds you why it's okay to celebrate, gives you perfect examples of why it's okay to celebrate. It is so nice. It is so nice. And I don't know why, but I love it when they put their faces on the book because then I know like who wrote it, and I don't know, it's really cool. But another really interesting thing, I think I've already told you guys about it when I talked about this book, but she emphasizes really big keynotes in these little blocks. So for example, one of her blocks says, we don't have to wait for something nice to happen to us. We can be aggressive and do something nice for ourselves. See, so it's just like, they're little reminders that you might have forgotten growing up and you just need to be reminded again. And another thing, I haven't finished the book yet, but it was something that was sent to me by a subscriber. I really want to talk about it. Look forward to it in my next video. I just want to finish it. But it talks about how we go through these like 3 7-year cycles and then we repeat those same 7-year cycles over and over and over again. For example, like the first 7 years of our life from age like 0 to 7, something happens to us, and then from 7 to 14, something happens to us, and then from 14 to 21, something happens, and then it's theoretically in this book, by the time we're 21, a bunch of our like vibrational frequencies, the way we work, our habits, our emotions, the way we project ourselves, they're kind of set in stone in our personality, and we either like revert back to how we acted when we were ages 0 from 7, or from ages 7 to 14, or from 14 to 21, but we never really understand what happens after. It's like we stay stuck. I want to just talk about it. It's really cool. It even talks about when you're just a little baby in your mama's womb and the vibrations she gives off in the last 7 months of you being in the womb. It's so interesting. So look forward to that book. It's really good. If you know what I'm talking about, babe, you know what I'm talking about. So this book is more of a scientific informational book about our health that I want everybody to get. I guarantee you some people won't watch this video of mine, so I'm just gonna have to make a video about this book all on itself. But you guys, for one, thank you to the girl who ever left the comment saying how your acne looked like mine when you had a bunch of like dental work that needed to be done, and I'm over here like, holy crap, if anybody even knew what was going on inside my boca, you would go crazy. But yeah, so when she commented that kind of made a little epiphany in my head because I knew something is weird, something's going on. Remember how like I just made that video about what's going on in the news? Yo, we can like have this little bit of life be like, yo, what's going on in the dental industry? But this book is amazing. It was sent to me by a subscriber, Sara. Thank you so freaking much, dude. I don't know what I would do without you. But it is called Cleaner Teeth, Longer Life, What Mainstream Medicine Doesn't Know or Won't Tell You. It's by Dr. I think it's Lina, Garcia. But you guys, she also makes videos on YouTube. Please go check her out. She is amazing. I watched one of her videos on YouTube and Sara and I were talking about her. And then he sent me this book and I was just like, yo, what else? What else? So it looks like this. haven't finished it. I haven't. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I have. I haven't finished it, but you guys have to read it. Oh my goodness. Like, everything about it is so amazing. You will read things and just be like, yo, what the heck is going on? Like here. So at this point, you may be asking, what are the requirements for a holistic dentist to do his or her job? That's another thing she goes into, is the difference between holistic doctors, dentists, physicians, medicinicians, and people who just focus on like trying to fix the issue and not saying like, oh my god, your body is a whole working system. Like, let's look at all factors, not just like one. So anyway, of course, I hope you read this book to get the answers to that question, but in general, I believe that for a dentist to practice with holistic awareness, it's necessary to act upon the following knowledge. 1. Although our teeth, gums, and jawbones are connected to the rest of our body, they are also connected by our blood, lymphatic fluids, nerves, and energetic cycles. These are known more commonly as acupuncture meridians. I circled that and was like, yo, you need to read into this, because that is something that I kind of, you know, it's just you don't really think about. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, but I didn't think about the fact that like our teeth are also connected to like our lymph nodes, our freaking blood, everything. 2. All dental procedures and materials can affect the whole body, not just teeth, gums, and jawbones. So you know when you get like a filling or a metal cap, like whatever, a lot of the times people don't take into consideration what that will do to you. And lo and behold, just wait, because I have another book for you. Just wait. Okay. 3. When a highly toxic metal such as mercury is put in your tooth, the whole body can be adversely affected. 4. Having any shiny metal in the mouth can cause problems, not only locally in the mouth, but also systematically within the whole body. And that's something else that's really interesting. Oh, we eat with our metal objects. So say you don't have cavities and you're just like, yo, but I don't have anything, like, I don't have metal in my mouth. How can metal affect my teeth? Well, when we eat off of metal silverware, that's an issue. I'll just stop at 5, but they go all the way down. 5. In addition to causing local symptoms, an infection in a tooth, the gums, or the jawbone can also cause symptoms on other areas of the body. So that girl who commented that amazing comment, who I'm like, yo, dude, just the world is giving me signs. There's stuff about our teeth that we're not being told about. Or we just don't think about, you know what I mean? Like, why would you go to a dentist and think that they're your best interest in health over your whole overall body isn't in their best interest? Instead, they just like want your money. It's like so interesting. This world is so scary. It's so scary. But anyway, what that girl, what she was saying was her acne looked just like mine, and she had a bunch of teeth that were decaying, and she was like, yo, the second I fixed it, stuff with my acne stopped. So it's like a lot of people don't think, like, you know, the whole like, oh, your toe hurts, it might be a nerve pinched in the back of your neck. It's like our whole entire body is like a little braid of energy. If one little piece is messed up, we might not feel it unless we're like all the way over here, you know what I mean? So it's just really interesting. Like, the thing that this book says is like, yo, you might have health issues, but it could be as simple as you have a decaying tooth in your mouth. Which, number 9, when teeth are decaying, other things are going wrong in the body. This book, it opens your eyes to just so many things that you never took into consideration, any of it. It is an amazing book, you guys. It talks about the mind, body, and spirit. It talks about how, right here it says the doctor can try all the cures he can, but he doesn't check your teeth. It's a lost cause, you know? So that's like one thing that she says. It's really interesting. And then right here I have helping someone heal is more than focusing on the individual part of the body. We're all interconnected. So, you know, it's just interesting. And one thing that she says that I literally wrote down, dated, and quoted, it says, I will strive to advance my profession by seeking new knowledge and by re-examining the ideas and practices of the past. So I'll say that again. I will strive to advance my profession by seeking new knowledge and by re-examining the ideas and practices of the past. I only hope that there are more holistic dentists and doctors that are just like Lina Garcia, who are also taking the time to talk about unconventional things that don't normally get talked about. Our teeth are important, yo. Like, yo, they're important. just because you can fake whiten your teeth doesn't mean that your teeth are healthy. That's another thing that I want us to all understand is there's so many of these like self-whitening kits at home. It's just gonna like whiten the front of your teeth, but like there might be other issues. So just like take into consideration, like teeth health is really serious just because it has so much to do with this. And because of the idea that like I really do, there's so many conspiracies that has to do with fluoride, but it's in our waters and it's in our toothpaste. And fluoride, it's also interesting when you learn how fluoride reacts with other either metal substances or just other things in our body. I don't really want to get into it now, but also she also talks about that fluoride. And again, I haven't finished this book and I wish I did so I could tell you more and more about it, but I want people to get their hands on this book. Please, if any of the books that you get, this is one about our health. It's not just helping our mind, we also have to help our body, right? So Cleaner Teeth, Longer Life by Dr. Lina Garcia. It is an amazing book, and please check out her stuff that she has on YouTube. She has a bunch of amazing interviews, just videos, all the 9 yards, yo. Whole 9 yards. So, another book that I got, and I got this book at a little book shop that is just up the street. Really sweet little lady, has a little black cat that hangs out there. Woman is amazing herself. Like, you know when you just feel, you can feel the presence of someone else and it's beautiful. That's her. And so thank you for making my experiences at that little bookstore amazing. I'm honestly hoping one day that I'm gonna like, I'm gonna go into the bookstores and just ask the lady like, yo, I low-key make weird little videos on YouTube. Can I just like record myself finding books? And because looking for books is weird. A lot of people, I feel like, they judge a book by its cover, and that's not a good thing. So anyway, I got this book. It's a thick book. I haven't read it all, but off of the stuff that I have read, it is very interesting, informative, and beneficial. Again, a lot of the stuff sometimes I read about has to do with the spiritual realms, the dark and the light side that we don't see, but sometimes we gotta focus on the realm that we can see, and that's our body and what's happening. So this book is a guide to understanding and reversing memory dysfunction. So this doesn't just have to do with Alzheimer's. It doesn't have to do with just people who have Alzheimer's now. What the heck, right? It also has to do with, you guys, Alzheimer's, dementia, and memory problems are one of the biggest leading illnesses in older people. And a lot of the times people just think that those diseases came with old age when really it had to do with a bunch of the toxic metals that are released everywhere. And that's what this book is entirely about. It's called Toxic Metal Syndrome: How Metal Poisoning Can Affect Your Brain. It looks like this. It looks like it's a little bit older, but it's big as hell. It's nice and beefy. It's written by 2 doctors. And what's so funny, I don't know why. Yes, it still does. I wrote right here. This is awesome, like right there, if you could see it. I wrote, book smells beautiful. It really does. Like, it smells like somebody's house, but somebody who like used to burn some sort of incense or sage or something. It smells amazing. It doesn't smell like the bookstore. It smells like something else. But anyway, the contents. So much about this. Just there's 3 parts to this book. There's part 1, the brain connection, 2, the aluminum connection. Sorry, there's like 5 parts. 3, heavy metal connection, 4, the, I don't know what that is, chelation connection, and the dietary connection. Another thing, so many people might be controversial about the fact of these like quote-unquote chemtrails. What are they made of? Aluminum, alright? So then one of them, aluminum products around us, aluminum dust and other metallic air pollutants, aluminum contamination in drinking water, milk, tea, and cookware, how aluminum acts on the brain. You guys, there are so many things that we're so freaking oblivious to, and it is hurting me internally because what is going on? Why? I just don't get it. There's heavy metal. Here we go. In here it even talks about dental. I don't know, amalgam. Amalgam. Amarak. Turmeric. What the hell? But it talks about mercury and dental just shit that they put in. Lead poisoning. Talks about dental, Alzheimer's disease, body and brain pathology of mercury toxicity. It talks about the anti-Alzheimer's diet. It's like, you guys, this book is amazing. This book is amazing. There is overwhelming evidence that shows much of Alzheimer's type dementia is caused by the accumulation of brain toxic metals that simply do not belong in the human. Basically, this book, it just talks about heavy metal, the toxic metals that can get in us, where they are, how they can be seen. It talks about like paint, children's toys, just everything, you guys. Where does it say? Also, it's a good book to learn about just mental issues. There are several types of dementia which are caused by brain cell damage. Their identifying names are Alzheimer's, dementia, Pick's disease, senile dementia, secondary dementia, toxic dementia. So it's really interesting. And what it's also saying is that there are a lot of cases coming up where children, young adults are showing signs of Alzheimer's, which have never really been present until now in that young of an age. So you guys, I also I thought this was interesting because although like I'm still young, I do have severe mental problems and memory issues. So reading something about how not only the world out there can increase the severity of already present mental issues and memory problems, it's just something amazing. Just for other people who might have memory problems, it's good to learn how to protect your body from the stuff out there to not make you worse. You can't find it, I'm not kidding you. I will make a podcast, post it on my SoundCloud of me just reading the book, okay? Because there's some things that we need to hear. And one other thing that's really interesting, when speaking of some of the other books I've read, music has been being brought up, and it's so interesting. It's something that I started talking about on my website actually, and again, I still need to release my website. I still have to release my website. And Kayla, sorry, like, girl, it's you. I feel you. I just gotta finish this, okay? I'll call you back in 2 seconds. Music is something that a lot of us, I don't think we really know what it is. And coming from somebody who's absolutely obsessed with music, I don't know how to feel about this. Like, I just don't. So, yeah. There's just so many weird things out there. So many weird things. So I just wanted to make this little book video really, really quick. I have had some amazing books fall into my hands, and especially ones that have been sent by you guys. Most of the time, the ones that are sent by you guys are some of the most impactful books that I have in my entire collection. So, with that being said, thank you for whoever made it through this video. I did owe you guys a book video, and I'm sorry that I have taken so long to make a book video. Just like I said, there's certain authors that I've been learning aren't the right authors to be reading, and I've already recommended them to you, so I've been trying to just do a bunch of research so then I can make a video and explain what I'm talking about and have all of the information that you guys need so you guys can look into it yourself. But please, at the end of the day, understand that a lot of the time people like to make money, and they like to mess with the minds of others to manipulate them into getting the money that they need. So whether it be a publishing company or somebody who makes videos or any of that, please just be careful and do the information for yourself. Like, if you need to do information until you fall asleep, and I get it, it's so hard because school, like, it's so wild, and all of this stuff that I'm learning today I never learned or even came close to in school. And that's another thing that is brought up in the Dajjal, the Antichrist book, that I think you guys should really, really, really look into. It talks about the history and literally the notion behind a university and where it stemmed from and how it came into existence. And it also talks about why kids are in school, and remember how it also went back to that book I'm reading also that talks about the 7 stages. One of them, the ages 7 through 14, is when you're mostly indoctrinated by your teachers and people who aren't your parents, but the outside people who are kind of telling you what's okay and what's not okay, how to be an adult from a kid, which of course we all have to go through, but a lot of the times the innocence that we shouldn't lose is lost, and we just become like lost, angry beings who are taught lies, and then we don't even know who to trust. It's like, it's so wild, you guys, and it's so hard for me to, like, one, comprehend it myself, understand what's going on, and then try to share it with you guys in a way that isn't confusing, doesn't sound controversial, doesn't sound like I'm crazy, but is all backed up with research and valuable information. So nonetheless, I hope that you guys liked this video. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing a lot of the time, so just bear with me, please. Yeah, and if anybody has any specific videos that they want me to do, let me know. And another thing, I have a lot of new subscribers from the last time I did a question and answers video, so if any of you guys want me to do a question and answers video, leave the questions below and I will shout you out and answer your questions in a question and answers video, because that'd be fun. We haven't done one in a minute. So yeah, leave some questions in the description box, please. That'd be cool. Yeah, love you all.